Welcome to Iyagba's Epic Tales. The title of today's story is The Fat Palace Cook Who Became a Warrior, Part 2. In Part 1, the story began with a girl called Nnena, who was mocked by everyone for being overly fat and slow. The need arises for her to work as a cook in the palace, and Nnena did her duty well, which made the king, King Ikenna, pleased with her. Udobodo, which happens to be Nnena's village, was peaceful until one night when giants attacked the village and left the king and everyone in fear and confusion. If you missed the first part, click on the link in the description box or tap the end screen in this video to watch. Now, let's continue the story. King Ikenna thought of how he could save his people in their home. The last chief priest of Udobodo had been caught harassing a married woman, and so he was ostracized from the village. How do they consult the gods now? It was indeed a big problem for King Ikenna and for everyone. They could not go to seek for solution from the chief priest of their neighbor villages, as the giants had taken over and positioned themselves at the borders of Udobodo. So, all they could do was cry and pray to God to help them and intervene. The king was in his room thinking, as it was the usual thing for him recently since the problems, when he was informed that a strange woman had come to see him. No one had ever seen her before and wondered how she was able to enter the village when the borders were being blocked by the giants. Or is she one of the giants? The guards were reluctant at first, but she was not a giant and she was not dressed as them. She also had an air of peace around her. So, the guards decided to inform the king. King Ikenna was reluctant, but he came out to know why she had come to see him. The battle which you seek to conquer can only be won as it was won in the days of old, the strange woman said to the king. As in the days of old? How? King Ikenna asked. For in the days of old, the battle was won through the help of Nnedioku. But Nnedioku passed on many centuries ago with no one to take after her. How would she help us in this time? King Ikenna asked again. A greater Nnedioku lives amongst you, the strange woman replied King Ikenna. Then where is she? Why hasn't she helped us all this time? King Ikenna growled. She is in the palace here with you, though she knows not that she is Nnedioku yet, the strange woman replied. The queen was summoned and presented for a confirmation, but the strange woman said it wasn't the queen. Then you must be mistaken, as there is no one else, the king and the queen said. But the strange woman insisted that there was yet another woman who is inside the palace. The thought of Nnena as the other female who was in the palace and who the strange woman could be referring to as the greater Nnedioku made everyone bursted out in laughter. That girl is excessively obese and slower than a snail for her to fight any battle or for any divine power to be in her. Nnedioku was very slim and faster than many great warriors, King Ikenna said to the strange woman. So, it is not possible, he said again. But the strange woman persisted. Nnena was brought after much persistence from the strange woman. But just like everyone else, Nnena also doubted the strange woman. The woman asked her to say these words: "I am ready for the great mission which purpose I have been sent for," and that the power in her will be unleashed. But Nnena remained obstinate and still in doubt, and so she refused to say the words the strange woman had asked her to say. After thinking for some days, and due to the killings of some few warriors who had summoned courage to confront the giants, Nnena, though confused, reluctantly agreed and said the words, and immediately a great power engulfed her. She started moving, and as she moved, the ground trembled. Everyone was shocked. She marched to the village border where the giants were, and the village warriors followed closely behind her, as ordered by the king. The defeat of the giants was greater than the previous time. They were all dead within a few hours, as Nnena, in her mighty power, slayed them all. The people of Udobodo sang Nnena's praises for months. The strange woman, who they later learnt was a divine messenger, told the people that the old Nnedioku was one of their ancestral guide and protector over many centuries before that time they had come to settle in this land. But that their ancestors knew that the giants would intimidate them and try to wrongfully take their land because of their power and might. And so, the first Nnedioku had to come to save our people and return back after the conquest. But many centuries later, the ancestors had seen into the future to know that the descendants of the giants would come again for a fight with more mightier power than their forefathers. And so, the Udobodo ancestors saw the need for a greater and more Nnediokus. But the power and force of more than 3 Nnedioku could not be carried by a physical tiny body, as the power might overwhelm the body and destroy it before it was time. So, Nnena, the chosen one, her physical body had to be extra large to contain the force of more Nnediokus, and most importantly, to turn people's attention from her in order to prepare her for the ultimate purpose. Else, she would have been killed as a child if she had looked normal and show her innate powers and was as fast as the first Nnedioku. Everyone who treated Nnena badly regretted their actions, as they came to realize that everyone is uniquely created and crafted the way they are for a special purpose. They appreciated Chukwuobiama for his great wisdom, which no man could explain. Nnena was given 1/3 of the kingdom and made the head of the warriors of Udobodo from that day. The end. The lesson to be learned from this story is that everyone is uniquely created, irrespective of how they look, their height or size. Secondly, and most importantly, this is a message to everyone who thinks low of themselves in one way or the other, that they should accept themselves and know that there is a reason why God designed them the way they are, and start discovering the unique treasures in them, which they will discover by praying to God and saying the right words about themselves, just as Nnena eventually did. I hope you enjoyed this story. Did you learn anything from this story? I would like to know. Please share in the comment section below.
Thank you for watching. See you in our next video. Bye.